As the sun began to set, Steve stumbled upon a small village on the outskirts of the forest. He had been wandering for days, searching for food and shelter. The village appeared to be abandoned, but as he approached, he saw a villager walking towards him. The villager's name was Johnny, and he was carrying an axe on his back. Steve didn't think much of it and continued towards the villager, but as soon as he got close, Johnny's eyes turned red and he attacked Steve with the axe. Steve quickly dodged the attack and pulled out his sword. He had encountered hostile villagers before, but something about Johnny's attack was different. Johnny moved with a speed and strength that Steve had never seen before. As they fought, Steve realized that Johnny was not a regular villager. He was stronger, faster, and seemed to be possessed by some unknown force. Steve managed to land a few hits on Johnny, but the villager's axe was incredibly powerful, and Steve was barely able to defend himself. In a moment of desperation, Steve managed to disarm Johnny and knock him to the ground. As Johnny lay there, defeated, Steve realized that he had stumbled upon a rare Easter egg in Minecraft. Johnny the Vindicator was a reference to the character Jack Torrance from the movie The Shining, and he was one of the toughest enemies in the game. As Steve looked around the village, he noticed that all of the other villagers were gone. He wondered if they had been attacked by Johnny or if they had fled from the village. Suddenly, Steve heard a strange noise coming from the nearby forest. He cautiously approached the edge of the forest and peered into the darkness. That's when he saw them. A group of zombie villagers led by a zombie wearing a tattered cloak. Steve knew that he had to act fast. He quickly gathered some supplies and crafted a few weapons and armor. He also built a fortified structure in the village to protect himself from the impending attack. As night fell, the zombie villagers began to descend upon the village. Steve fought valiantly, but he was outnumbered and outmatched. The zombie leader was particularly tough, and Steve could barely land a hit on him. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, Steve remembered something he had read about in a Minecraft guidebook. There was a way to defeat zombie leaders, but it required a rare item called a Totem of Undying. Steve searched frantically for the totem, but he couldn't find it anywhere. That's when he remembered the strange object he had found in a nearby dungeon earlier that day. It was a small golden figurine that looked like a person holding their arms outstretched. Steve quickly realized that the figurine was a Totem of Undying. He activated it just in time to avoid a fatal blow from the zombie leader. The totem granted him temporary invincibility and allowed him to defeat the zombie leader and his minions. As the sun rose over the village, Steve felt a sense of relief and accomplishment. He had survived a grueling night and had defeated one of the toughest enemies in Minecraft. He also had uncovered a rare Easter egg in the game, but Steve knew that there were many more challenges and dangers waiting for him in the world of Minecraft. He packed up his supplies and set off on his next adventure, ready for whatever lay ahead.